This is the secret that Toyota has been working on quietly, and that they probably didn't want to tell you until now. But I'm going to tell you, but if this is confirmed, Ford and Ram, and maybe Chevrolet, could have a pretty serious problem in the world of high-performance off-road pickups. The information I have is so good that you'll want to share it on your own social media, so stay until the end. Welcome! As you know, for years when people talked about extreme pickups, it was always the same names: the Raptor, the TRX, and a bit the ZR2 from Chevrolet. But anyway, Toyota was in the off-road game, yes, but they had never really entered the war of high-performance desert pickups. That could change now, and what we're starting to hear could become the wildest Toyota Tundra in history. They're talking about a new version, which they would call the TRD Hummer. Hummer, Hammer. Yes. Then tell me in the comments what you think about that name. Hammer. Hummer. And if that name becomes a reality, this wouldn't just be another TRD Pro. This would be something completely different. Something much more aggressive, much more extreme, and specifically designed to compete against who? Against the Raptor and the TRX mostly. But the interesting thing about this story isn't just the possible new Tundra. The interesting thing is why Toyota is doing this now, and what that says about the future of pickups in the United States. For almost 2 decades, the world of extreme off-road pickups has been dominated by Detroit. It all started when Ford launched the F-150 Raptor and basically created a new segment. A pickup designed to race through the desert at high speed with long travel suspension, huge tires, and a widened body. What we love, those of us who are crazy about pickups, it almost gives us an orgasm when we hear, well, then Ram came with its answer. The TRX in 2021, with more than 700 horsepower and a supercharged V8 engine that turned that pickup into absolute madness. General Motors also joined the game later with the Silverado ZR, 2 Bison, and the General Motors Company Sierra AT4X. But Toyota, even though it has the Tundra TRD Pro, has never really had a true competitor for the Raptor or the TRX. The TRD Pro. I almost didn't say it right. It's good. It has Fox shocks, a small lift, all-terrain tires, a locking differential, off-road modes. Great features for off-roading, but it's not a pickup designed to jump in the desert at 100 miles per hour. It's more of a serious off-road pickup, but let's say not an extreme one. And that has left many Toyota fans waiting for something more radical. And they've been waiting for a long time. Suddenly, you might even think, well, I don't think Toyota is ever going to jump in and take on Ford or Ram. Well, now this is where the story gets interesting. Much more interesting because a few years ago, Toyota started showing very aggressive concepts based on the Tundra. At events like the Specialty Equipment Market Association show in Las Vegas, one of the most famous was the Tundra Desert Chase concept, which basically looked like a desert race truck, with its huge suspension, widened body, lights, roll cage, and everything you can imagine. And that made a lot of people start thinking that Toyota was paving the way for something bigger. But here comes what really makes all of this believable. Also, that truck, that concept. I had the chance to see it at one of the auto shows I've had the opportunity to cover. And really, that's where my intuition started telling me, well, are they planning a response to the Raptor and the TRX? Well, a couple of years later, that's being proven true. Spy photos have been seen of a Tundra with greater height, different suspension, a much wider stance, and significant changes to the underside of the vehicle. And on top of that, Toyota registered the name TRD Hammer as a trademark. That already tells you a lot. When a manufacturer, which doesn't always happen, registers a name, it's because something is coming, something serious, for real. And when a brand like Toyota does it, well, it's usually not by chance. Now I'm going to tell you something that Toyota did and that almost nobody is talking about. And that's going to give you a very clear clue that this pickup is probably really on its way. That's why I'm going to explain it to you in a moment, because first we have to understand something very important. Toyota is an extremely strategic company. Look, they analyze every move. When people go for electric vehicles, they say, no, let's hold off on electrification and go for hybrids instead. They are very thoughtful, as they should be. They almost never do anything impulsively. When Toyota enters a segment, they usually do it because they've already studied the market, the demand, the profitability, and the brand positioning. and they're smart. And the high-performance off-road pickup segment is very profitable and very important for brand image. In the United States, the Raptor not only sells, it also creates an image. For Ford, it's the same as the TRX for Ram. These are the kind of vehicles that get people talking about the brand, even if they don't buy that specific model. Why? Because they're just too expensive. They're not for everyone. I mean, it's a vehicle with a lot of class, but it's not for all classes. Toyota probably wants exactly that for the Tundra. But there's even more information. This is like hotcakes. I mean, it's really good. More info about the possible Toyota TRD Hammer. But first, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to give it a like. And if you're a subscriber, I really appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber to my channel yet, please, I ask you to subscribe. That way we help other people who are interested in the world of pickups, in the world of cars, so they can have serious, responsible, and objective information. So I ask you to do it, to like the video, subscribe, and that way we help other people. And it's also a way, obviously, to support this channel. And I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. But now let's get back to what I was going to tell you before, because this is key. Toyota sent official surveys to Tundra owners asking them what they thought about a new high-performance pickup designed for off-road enthusiasts, with long travel suspension and 37-inch all-terrain tires. And this is very important because when a brand starts asking these kinds of things in official surveys, usually it's because the project is already underway, already in development, or very close to getting the green light. The 37-inch tires are a huge clue. The Raptor R uses optional. 37S, the TRX uses 35 SE. If Toyota is talking about 37S from the factory, what does that mean? Do they want to compete directly at that level or even surpass it? And this is where the big question comes in. If Toyota actually releases a Tundra TRD Hammer, what would it need to truly compete against the Raptor and TRX? And before getting into that, obviously I know who's getting excited. The people from Texas, the ranchers, because they're big fans of pickup trucks. I send them my regards. And look, I'm gonna dress up a bit to pay a small tribute to my friends from Texas. And not just those from Texas, but ranchers from all over the United States, and also in Mexico, to my friends in the Dominican Republic, who also love this type of truck, and in Colombia as well, where there are so many mountainous areas. Well, in all the countries where people follow me, Costa Rica, Chile, Argentina, I know there's a lot of curiosity about pickup trucks. And if I forgot to mention a country, I apologize, but there are so many. But I wanted to tell you what Toyota is doing, what they've been working on in secret, because this could be a game changer for extreme pickup trucks. What could this Toyota have? Well, it should have long travel suspension, that's a must. Yes, the travel as well as Fox shocks are similar. It should have special suspension arms to withstand a lot of abuse. It has to be widened, obviously, wider track width, widened body, underbody protection, skid plates, and probably a higher or much higher ride height than the TRD Pro. Second, the design is much more aggressive, with widened fenders, unique grille, special bumper, skid plate, and probably auxiliary lights, fog lights, and exclusive details. Well, all of that is so it can really be taken into account in this market, a segment where you have the Raptor, the TRX, and the Chevrolet ZR2, although the ZR2 is a step below. The TRX, which has over 700 horsepower, the Raptor R, which has over 700 horsepower, 720. If Toyota wants to compete seriously, they can't show up with 450 or 500 horses, they would need something much higher. Some rumors say that Toyota could take the iForce Max hybrid system to a whole new level for this pickup. And if Toyota decides to go for a high-performance hybrid, they could achieve impressive torque figures. And here comes something interesting that many people haven't thought about. Toyota is the king of hybrids. If anyone can make a high-performance hybrid pickup that also has brutal torque for off-roading, it's probably Toyota. Imagine a Tundra with 700 or 800 combined horsepower and instant torque from the electric motor on sand or rocks. That could be something very different from what Ford and Ram are doing. That's why I'm telling you, this isn't just any facelift. A facelift is when they release a Tundra with some cosmetic details, some off-road features. No, a facelift isn't that. A facelift is what I had done. A facelift. I got rid of some of my double chin with a little touch-up. They gave me injections. That's because the years don't come alone. I'll show you some pictures. My editor may already be displaying them, so you get the full story without missing anything. Yeah, I mean, I had a facelift. That's right, it's a facelift. What they're doing to me there. I mean, that's definitely a facelift. To get rid of the double chin and all that stuff, and the lines, the marionette lines and all that, well, this thing coming from Toyota is not just a little facelift. I mean, it's a serious contender. Here's another point that could change the competition, but we'll discuss it later. First, let's address something many people misunderstand about this segment. These pickups don't just exist for off-roading. They exist for brand image, they exist for marketing, they exist so that when someone thinks of pickups, they think of that brand as something exciting, strong, and extreme. And Ford understood this years ago with the Raptor, Ram understood it with the TRX, and Toyota is probably realizing something it needed to do for its truck lineup. Even though the Tundra is reliable and has a good engine, it's not the first pickup that comes to mind in the extreme segment, not even the TRD. Would a Hummer change that right away? Now, consider the price. If this becomes a reality, it would probably be in the price range of a Raptor R or a TRX. I mean, a very expensive pickup. Over $100,000, of course, but that wouldn't be the main goal. The main goal would be brand positioning, creating brand awareness, what they call here in English, brand awareness. Here's the main question I want you to consider as we continue talking. If Toyota actually launches a Tundra TRD Hummer with long travel suspension, all of this is hypothetical. There are no 37-inch tires more than 700 horsepower. Do you really think it could truly compete against the Raptor and the TRX? I mean, do you think it would dominate the segment, or do you think it's already too late for Toyota to enter that segment? Let me know down in the comments, because Toyota might be late, but when Toyota gets into something, they usually come to stay. Place your bets. Remember what I told you earlier. They are very strategic, and if this pickup becomes a reality, could we be seeing the beginning of a new war between Ford, Ram, and Toyota in the world of high-performance off-road pickups? And that would be very interesting for all of us who like off-road vehicles. Pickups. Now the question for you. What should the Toyota TRD Hummer have for you to consider it better than a Raptor or a TRX? More power, better suspension, more technology, better interior, more reliability, more screens, more gadgets. Let me know your opinion in the comments, because this topic is just getting started and things could get really interesting in the coming years. Alright, this is where I stop with this video. I hope the information is good enough for you to share on social media. You can say something like Toyota's competitor for the Raptor and the TRX has arrived, and you can share my video there. Thank you if you're already subscribed, and if not, please subscribe to Freedy Car Power 360. All of this helps everyone who is looking for vehicles and guidance. I do this from the heart, I enjoy it, and your subscription means a lot to me. It really matters. So I send you a big hug, and I kindly ask you to please like the video. This helps us reach more people searching for trucks and pickups and supports the channel. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I'll leave another video here that you're going to love, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, see you later.